The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, UNU Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, tell there are no rich no more.
Be silent.
Allow me to do that shit.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please step out of the hallway.
They're fucking dead. I don't fucking regret that shit. The only thing I fucking regret is I fucking still too. I wish I fucking killed more of those motherfuckers. Fuck it.
We asked if the camera would be turned off. I think the order was a late to
I will break up soon and I will kill more. If we ever fucking get in front of me. Just like that. There's no need for a fucking trial. I'm gonna fucking go to the fucking trial. I'm fucking plead guilty now. Fucking all this shit fucking.
The jurors have left the courtroom. Mr. Bracamanis, this is your trial. I want you to be present, but you will not disrupt this trial. You will not speak out. If you do, you will be removed from the courtroom. Do you understand that?
I do.
Bring the jury back, please.
Before you do that, may I be heard on one issue?
Go ahead.
Thank you. We believe these outbursts and the inappropriate laughter are part of the mental illness that we talked about earlier. And at this point, we would ask the court to reconsider its ruling on the 1368 motion we filed, or in the alternative, let us declare a doubt, another doubt, under Penal Code Section 1368.
Your motion is denied. We'll address this at a later time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please bring the jurors in.
Welcome to Pot Talk, everybody. I'm Jim.
And I'm Paul.
We got two special guests tonight. We got Donald Wisman from All Aboard and Les Skymo.
Hey!
Hey, guys. How you doing?
How you doing, Jimmy? How you doing, Paul?
We're doing all right.
It's always a privilege to be on Pot Talk with you guys. I love you guys.
Oh, thank you. We're glad to have you on.
Thank you.
We're always glad to have you on, gentlemen.
Yes.
It's a cold night here tonight up in Salem, New Hampshire.
It's cold here in Ohio, too, you guys. It's extremely cold.
Hey, we had a heat wave, man. I think it was up to 20 today.
Yeah, it was up to over 32 today because the snow melted off.
Yeah, we got some melt. We got a little bit of melt.
I got my thong out today. Flip-flops.
I hope somebody called the cops.
So, Mr. Bell, Mr. Bell, what's some of your bullet points tonight, Jimmy?
They're not very good, but this is Saturday. Is 1 year since Trump's been in. January 20th.
Yeah.
It's going to be 1 year anniversary, yeah.
Well, it seems like for the last 5 months they've been saying he's been in there for a year, and it's true.
I know.
Since October, I believe. Well, 1 year with Trump, 1 year.
Well, do you know what it is? Because they kind of count president-elect, I think.
You think that's what it is?
He was elected.
November 8th?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, he wasn't in office. But he
used different markers.
But he was the president at that. You know, he was the designated president at that.
Elect. That's it. President-elect.
President-elect.
Hey, you guys! I got a very good Democrat joke. If you want to hear it, I just got one for you. How many Democrats does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
Well, it's not their bulb to start with.
Well, here's the answer. Just one, but it really gets screwed.
Yeah, I wonder who they stole the light bulb from.
I just thought I'd pull it out.
Next.
I should have wrote some more down, guys. I'm sorry. I've got a whole book of them. I've got a book of Democratic jokes.
Hey, Don, you know China's the number 2 corn grower in the world?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's what Paul said.
I didn't know that.
Yes, China is actually the second largest producer of corn in the world.
Yeah, and they only grow the little ones.
I thought it was the state of Indiana myself.
That's not a country.
I know, but according to Jerry Brown, California is a country.
Well, it's on its way to being a country, yeah.
Hey, did you guys hear that California was thinking about splitting up into 2 countries?
Yeah, New California. I like the sound of it.
Yeah.
People tired of that crap, boys. Why don't they just move out? I'd just move and let them have it.
Because a lot of people are invested in being there. They've been there for generations. There's beautiful weather. You know, they don't want to leave. They're just sick of their state being a shithole.
Yeah,
So
I can
what do you
dig
think?
that, but man, you know.
What do you think? One part of California would be Republican, the other one would be Democrat?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And do you know what it'll do for the Electoral College? Because California is the biggest one.
Oh, yeah.
Number one.
That'd make it more fair, really.
Well, how many electoral votes do they have, you guys?
Jesus, I'd have to look that up. It's number one. I know that, and then it's Texas after that.
Well, Ohio has 18. How many of you guys got in your state?
2. New Hampshire has 2, right?
2 what?
Electoral votes.
God, I thought you guys had more
so.
than that.
No, it's like 8.
What?
What's Mass?
It's like 4 or 5.
Oh, then yeah, we are only 2 then.
I think New Hampshire's only 2. There's not a lot of people.
I think it's more because Maine.
Well, let's find out. You guys talk and I'll Google it.
Google it. I'll find out.
Yeah.
But I do know California is the biggest. They got the most electoral votes out there in California.
How many electoral votes does New Hampshire get?
Jimmy's really going, or Paul's going to really Google this.
Yeah, oh yeah. Find out what it is.
4. It's 4.
4? Yeah.
And I think Mass is a little more.
Yeah, Mass is more because the population's higher.
Right,
Yeah,
that's why I thought New York was the
population,
highest.
Right, yeah, it goes by population.
Unless California, the whole state probably would be higher.
Well, because California's got the most population.
Yes,
it's
it
the
goes
highest
by
populous
population.
state. And then
Yes.
Texas is the next most populous state.
I thought New York would have been, but I guess you're right. Texas, there's a lot of people in Texas, you guys.
Well, it's huge.
Not unless they count all the big people for 2. I don't know, because they say everything in Texas is big, right?
Do you know what? I was down there.
Land of the Giants.
I've been to Texas once, right? And I'm a short guy. I'm really short. And Jesus Christ, I felt like I was back in kindergarten again. Everyone towered over me. The women towered over me.
So everything in Texas is big, is you're
It's
saying.
bigger.
Is that right? Really?
And do you know what? I like Texas. I was down there once and I enjoyed it.
Would you live there?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if I had a good job and, yeah, why not?
I've never been to Texas, Paul, so I couldn't tell you, brother.
I lived in Houston for a short while, just a few months of work for Arco Oil Refinery out there. And, man, I tell you what, boys, it's I don't care for it, really. It's
really
flat. It's hot. It's really hot, man. I was there in July, August, and about 113 degrees I've seen it get up to.
Ooh.
I don't care for it, man. I just, but
Yeah.
then again, it just wasn't home,
Well, that's true, too. That's true, too.
No.
Well, Timmy, you and Paul said you guys lived around the ocean your whole life, correct?
Yeah. I've lived near the ocean my whole life.
Well, you remember me telling you guys, I've never seen a real palm tree in my 48 years of life. I've never seen a palm tree, you guys.
Yeah, I've been to Aruba, and I was out to California for a year. That's where I saw them all.
The
Go
first
to
one,
Florida, man. That's all you got to do. Go to Florida, and cabbage palms are everywhere.
The first palm tree I said, I drove down with my brother and this guy, a friend of ours. We drove to Florida. I was like 18 or something like that. I had never seen a palm tree. So I said, the first palm tree I see, I'm going to piss on. And
Did you do it?
Yeah, it was at Pedro, south of the border in Carolina.
Paul,
and it was
that sounds
right
like
out in the
something you
middle
do.
of the parking lot.
Oh, God,
And my brother
Paul.
John goes, there's the fucking tree. Go piss on it. And I looked
God.
around, made sure nobody was looking, and I pissed on the son of a bitch.
Can I ask you a question, Paul? Why would you want to piss on a palm tree? Why? Why, Paul?
I wanted to mark my territory.
Mark, you're fun, man. I love you, brother. You're
One
funny,
of the
man.
pissing
Yep,
contests.
mine now. Mine.
Hey, that's like that. You guys see that movie, The World's Fastest Indian? That guy peed on that. I think that was the movie where that guy peed on that lemon tree every day.
I didn't see that movie.
Well, this little kid watched him every day. Well, when that guy left and went to the salt flats to do his motorcycle thing, it was the world's fastest Indian motorcycle. While he was gone, that little boy was pee every day. Would go over there and pee on his lemon tree.
I wonder how the lemons tasted.
Probably a little twine too.
Little salty, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So if you're drinking tequila, you got the lemon and the salt all in one.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, you and Paul, you guys do a lot of traveling, then, haven't you? Both of you guys.
I do for work. I travel for work. Yeah.
Man, that would be great. I would love to have a job to travel when I did work. To travel around the country and see different things. You know.
Yeah, it's interesting. It can be. It can stink too at times. You know, sometimes you're just sitting in a hotel room going, God, I wish I was home.
Well, Les wasn't on here one night, but you was saying that when you came through Ohio, it was like all gray. You just look at Ohio like it's gray state, you know.
Yep.
And that's what he thinks. Les, Ohio's all gray.
Well, you know, when you come through that part, and I know why it looks that way, because when you come from Kentucky, you're traveling on 75. You know, you've got is you just got short periods of fields, golf course maybe, but you know, you got one right after the other. You got cities and towns, and you really never get out in the country until you get up toward Columbus. You know, once you get toward Columbus, or in between Columbus and Cleveland, now you get into some rolling hills and some cornfields and stuff. But yeah, I understand why you say that. Yeah.
Well, you have to remember it was the dead of winter too, and it was after a major snowstorm. So
yeah.
You know, I didn't see it in its best of times.
Yeah. Well, when you're coming out of Kentucky,
going to Ohio.
Oh, you did go through it. Okay.
Have you been to Ohio, Jimmy?
I went through it, but I lived in California back in '79. I spent a year out there. I took a bike.
God, I was 10. I was 10 when you was there. I was 10 years old, man. What was you like, Forrest Gump? You know, going across the country on your bike instead of walking or jogging?
No, a motorcycle.
Motorcycle. I thought you meant a bicycle, man.
No.
Yeah, no, he drove a bike across country.
In 8 days?
I guess he
8 days on a motorcycle.
Did you guys see that movie about the guy who rode a lawnmower like across state? Did you guys see that movie? There was a movie, a guy drove a riding lawnmower like across the state. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that movie. It's a true story.
Yeah, wasn't Forrest Gump on a riding mower?
No, he jogged.
He did ride a mower, though. He mowed the grass all the time. He did love mowing grass.
I think I remember that.
Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, you guys, did you guys hear about this Republican Senator Jeff Flake? What he said, or
yeah.
This guy compared our president to Joseph Stalin. Can you guys believe that crap?
And Joseph Stalin killed 25 million people.
Yeah.
Of his own people.
His own people.
Murderer in the world.
I mean, what would possess him to think Trump is anything like
I know exactly.
Well, Stalin called the news fake news, and Trump said that he took it from them.
Oh, man, but Trump ain't killed all those people.
Exactly. How come when Obama called Fox fake news, he wasn't like Stalin? And that was before Trump was around.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, nobody said anything bad about Obama, Paul. I don't think anybody did.
Oh, I mean, but to answer your question about Flake, why would he say that about Trump?
Yeah,
here's the short version.
He's
retiring. He's retiring. He knows he's not getting reelected.
Is he a rhino? Is he a rhino, Paul?
Oh, he's the rhino.
He's a liberal man.
Yeah, he's another John McCain.
He is a flake.
Exactly.
A flake.
And he knows he's not going to get back in office, so he retired.
Yeah,
so now it's all sour grapes.
Yeah, his poll numbers is through the floor, man.
Nobody's voting for him. Where's Flake out of? Is he Arizona too?
Yeah.
Flake.
So McCain's gone. and Flake's gone.
There was
Trying to
somebody
get some
that's
new
going to run
Republican blood in there.
against, will take Flake's place. I forget who. Somebody.
There was some woman that's running.
Yeah.
Let's
I
hope
forget
it's
her
not
name.
a liberal, though, you guys. Let's hope it's not a liberal, please, you guys.
They're very red areas of Arizona.
Oh,
where-
okay, you're right. So it's very unlikely that a liberal will take Flake's
Right.
place or McCain's place.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, fellas, I think these, by the time all this tax stuff's done, everybody gets their rebate and stuff, I really believe that's going to be hard for the Democrats to combat. 'Cause
Right.
Exactly.
Especially when not one of them voted for it.
When you
Right,
see your
right.
paycheck and you're doing better on a
Yeah.
weekly basis,
Your
Yeah.
401k just
it's
went up.
pretty hard to ignore it. Yeah, my cousin, since Trump's been in office, his 401k's gone up over 50 grand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Well, he
Jimmy,
makes good money. You know what I mean? He's not a 9-to-5 worker. But yeah,
this
Still, that's
question,
awesome, though.
I got a
boys.
question for you guys. Jimmy and Paul, this is your show, so I'm going to ask you guys. Do you guys know anything about the Dow Jones? I mean, I really don't know about stock markets, you guys.
not really.
Well,
Me
here,
neither.
if you guys can explain this, if Les can, but I was reading today that the Dow Jones Industrial average jumped 323 points. It said closing above 26,000
Yes.
for the first time in 121-year history. Now, what does that mean, you guys? I really don't understand the
These
stock market.
economy's booming.
Yeah,
It means
yeah.
it
Confidence
means
is
people have
booming.
confidence to
Yeah.
invest and to build.
And whose fault is
Oh,
this?
that's shares. I think that's shares. 26,000 shares.
I
And,
don't understand. I don't understand the
points
NASDAQ.
and-
and all
I
that.
don't understand the
Complicated.
point system, how it works exactly.
Yeah.
But when the
Nope.
stock market's on the rise, it means consumer confidence is
Yeah,
high.
that's good. That's a good thing.
And
yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but whenever the stock market crashes, right, somebody gets nervous and
Sells.
panics and pulls their money out,
Oh,
and
yeah.
somebody else sees it, and then it becomes a tsunami, and everyone
That's
starts
when the
pulling their
bubble
money,
burst, yeah.
and then the market crashes.
I
That
mean,
is not
isn't people
confidence.
getting rich from the stock market, though? These
Well,
guys
sure
who
they
buy
do.
and sell
Yeah.
stocks?
Yeah.
Why come
Yeah.
we're not into
Big
that,
time.
you guys? How
It's
come we're not
outrageous.
buying stocks and stuff and
Well,
getting
you
rich?
got day traders. You got people
Yeah.
they call day traders. They do, and you see them walking on you when you see them there on television when they show the stock market. All them people's in there. They're shucking and jiving. They're buying and selling.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Well,
The
they're
dinging
selling
of the
and buying
bell,
shares, man. You know.
Right.
they're just going
It's-
crazy.
You got the guys that are doing like the penny stocks. They're
Yeah.
just in there just for something to do. It's almost like the people that go to the casino and
Yeah.
sit at the 5 cent.
No, but if you get people at penny stocks, it goes up a hell of a lot higher than in buying stocks at 300 a share.
Right. Well, it can. But the thing is, you're not looking at major losses. If you take a loss, you walk away, like going to the slot machine and playing the nickel slots.
Right.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
Right.
You can watch it going up or down. That's like when I was working, I had my 401k, and I just had it for I don't know, just a couple years, but I was really on top of it, and I made a few $100 in a very short time. I watched the stock market, and when it was going up, wherever it was going up at, I would call that 1-800 number, move my stuff around. Kind of wish I'd have stayed with it. I mean, but yeah, you know, I mean, you can make money at it or you can lose money at it.
Yeah. Some of these guys that are, these traders, in 3 years, they can walk away set for life if they know
Oh,
what the
yeah.
hell they're doing.
Right.
Why don't we do that, you guys?
Yeah.
Why are we not buying and selling stocks then?
Because like anything else, there's an inherent risk in it.
Yeah.
You're gambling. It's just like going to a casino.
Yeah. Well, another thing too, you know, you need 10, 20, 30,000, 50,000 to really dive into it to where you can really be a mover and shaker. I mean, you need a whole lot of money to start with, and
What?
you know, it's always at risk.
And not just that, you have to have insight. What's going to be the next big
Insight.
thing?
Right.
Had I known Google, you know what I mean, or
You know,
Amazon,
the next big
Microsoft.
thing is medical.
yeah,
Mhm.
yes.
Medical breakthroughs.
Right.
That's a great place
Especially when
to
they
be.
got to do with stem cells.
Not pharmaceuticals so much.
No.
Well,
Because the
Jimmy-
pharmaceutical industry is really getting some bad press lately.
Oh, there are going to be a lot of
Since the
lawsuits.
opioids.
They get a lot of lawsuits now because you got all these blood-sucking lawyers. You see the commercials. They'll sue for anything. And right now, they're figuring out how to hit these big pharmaceutical companies. And so that's kind of risky right now.
They keep saying it's for justice. Is that what a
right.
paycheck is?
Yeah. Well, you see a lot of these things. What's his name that ran with Al Gore? Edwards.
John Edwards, yeah.
Yeah.
Don Edwards.
Yeah.
You know where he was a lawyer? You know where he made his money? How he
Where?
became rich?
Suing pharmaceutical companies.
No, suing people, suing doctors from the
Yeah.
cerebral palsy scare back in the 70s.
That's right.
That's
Oh,
what I was going to
that's
tell you
right.
guys. I don't think I'd want to be a doctor today. I'd be afraid of a lawsuit to be a doctor anymore.
I got a friend of
That's
mine
that's why it costs a lot of money.
Well,
Yeah.
Medical's outrageous because of the lawsuits.
well, that's why in Massachusetts, because Massachusetts is the medical capital of the world. There's no doubt about it. But the doctors here don't like being here because their medical malpractice insurance is so high.
Right.
They could go down to say Tennessee or Alabama or something like that and pay way less in medical malpractice insurance.
I didn't know that. I
Here
didn't
in
know that.
Ohio, I got a retired doctor that goes to our church, and he was paid over $100,000 a year. He was an emergency room doctor, and his insurance malpractice was $100,000 a year, buddy.
So wait a minute.
Just
Oh my
imagine what a
God.
brain surgeon at Mass General is paying.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I didn't
Yeah.
think about that, you guys. Paul, you and Jimmy and Les, I mean, I didn't realize that these doctors had to have this special insurance just to be a doctor.
Yes,
Of course
sir.
they do.
That's why medical bills are so high.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
because they won't pass any kind of real tort
Legislation.
reform.
They do need to do something to save these doctors. I mean, it's not their fault if they actually, if something goes wrong. I mean, they're doing the best they can. For the most part of them are. I would
Yeah,
guess
but
they
why
would.
are medical bills going up and up and up? And medical insurance going up and up and up?
Is it the lawsuits, Jimmy?
Yeah.
It's the lawsuits. It's the fact that they're covering illegal aliens. That's
Right.
the reason why everything's so outrageous.
Right.
We're putting them on Medicaid.
Right.
Well, even your car insurance has gone up lately, you guys. I mean, is it for these frivolous
Yeah, because of the hit and
claims?
runs. These people love to cause accidents to collect insurance.
We got Massachusetts right next to us, right? You get into an accident with an illegal alien down there, right? That's driving a car. He has no insurance or nothing. You go to court. The other person never shows, right?
Right.
And they just throw their hands in the air and say, well, you're going to have to deal with your insurance company.
That's awful. That is terrible, man. That's terrible.
Well, see,
They shouldn't have
California-
driver's license. They shouldn't have anything.
Right, right, and that's driving the prices up. We pay for these illegals on every angle, boys.
And
Yeah.
It don't
billions
matter.
and billions of dollars.
Billions. Yes.
It needs to stop. It needs to come to a head, you guys.
Here's an example of just how bad it is, right? I have a buddy that loves to fish, and he fishes in this city called Lawrence in Massachusetts. It is loaded, and I mean loaded with illegals. And every time he goes down to the river to fish, the game wardens will show up and ask him for his license.
Yeah.
And he'll point to 15, 20 people sitting on a bridge. They're all Spanish. They're all illegal. You know it. And he says, why aren't you asking them for their fishing license? Well, we know they don't have them. Well, why aren't you doing something about it? We are under orders not to.
Yeah.
Well,
leave
they don't
them
get no
alone.
money from
Well, then
them,
leave me
man. They
alone.
never show up to court.
Jimmy,
That's
Jimmy.
the reason.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you and Paul, I know it's your show, but since you guys are on this topic about these illegal aliens, I was reading another article that ICE, you guys know what ICE is, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're planning a big, massive raid right now on illegal aliens in California. They need to arrest, I think they need to arrest Jerry Brown in the process. I mean,
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's the
Send
one that
him to
made...
Mexico.
Yeah, I mean they're going to go in there because he made that a sanctuary state, and they're really pissed right now. They're going to go in there in all those cities, and they're going to start making major arrests. And he needs to go right with them, you guys. He does.
Here's what bothers me. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Well, they announced that they were going to be doing major raids in San Francisco.
And
Nancy Pelosi said they're doing that out of pure malice.
Yeah.
And guess what? They are. No, they are doing it out of pure malice.
Well, so what?
You want to thumb your nose at us? Well, watch this.
You know, but here, I seen a senator the other day, or a congressman, and he was a Republican. Okay, so he wants to pass a law, okay, to prosecute these politicians and governors and things.
I heard that.
But you know what? Isn't there? I know there's a law already on the books. Aren't there any punishment for that?
Yes, there should already be a penalty for
not according to Judge Napolitano. He says that it's not aiding and abetting, but you harboring or hiding. He goes, if you can't prove they're hiding in your cellar, then you really got no case.
I see. Yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't believe
it.
Is the law always black and white for me and you?
Yeah.
Right? And it's always a gray area when it comes to them.
Well, see, if the governor or a mayor comes out and declares it a sanctuary city, seemed to me like, boom, go put cuffs on them. Because they're hiding, they're aiding and abetting right there.
Exactly.
Out in the public, you know.
Yeah, and if you lose a family member to an illegal alien, you should be able to sue the people that were protecting that alien.
A couple of treasonous executions would stop all of this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Kate Steinley's family didn't get nothing, did they?
Nah, they didn't even get justice.
Exactly.
I tell you what, that was the saddest case I've seen in a long time.
Back in 2 seconds, gentlemen. Keep talking.
Hey, who brought up Nancy Pelosi's name earlier? Was it Paul or Jimmy?
I'm not sure.
Well, anyway, Jimmy, Les, I don't know if you guys know this, but Nancy Pelosi, she was at a ceremony. I don't know if you guys heard about it, honoring Bob Dole. Did you guys hear about that ceremony?
Yeah, I seen that.
Give him a medal, yeah.
And she happened to get off these cheap shots at Trump. I mean, during this ceremony for Bob Dole, a Republican, you guys know that Bob Dole is 94 years old?
Yeah, he's a war hero, boy.
Yeah.
But what were we talking that one day, Jimmy? One day on your show, I think we was talking about these rich guys, how they live so long, and I think Bob Dole. I mean, they seem like they do. All these rich guys seem to live up in their 90s.
Yeah, because they can afford the right food. They can afford they can buy cooks.
Us poor guys, we don't live up in our 90s, guys. We just don't
live on
that
peanut butter and jelly and cereal. You know what I mean?
well, Jimmy, I got a question for you. Now that Bob Dole is 94 years old, I got a question. Do you think he's still taking Viagra? Remember those commercials he used to make?
Yeah,
oh shit, that's right. I forgot about that.
Well, looking at his wife, I bet you he still is.
Hey.
There's big as an Oreo cookie. I bet.
You guys, for his wife, she's not that bad looking to be an older lady, you guys.
No, but she is bad. Well, like I said, I'd need Viagra, that's for sure.
Well,
I can't tell what it is from the neck down.
I don't know. I'm saying 10 years ago, you guys, she didn't look that bad to be an older lady.
I didn't look bad 10 years ago.
Oh, man.
Don't age well as white people, especially from the Scandinavian.
Yeah, Scandinavian women do not age well. They look great in their 20s, and by their 40s.
Yeah, 40s and 50s, shit. They look like they're in their 60s and 70s.
Wow.
Most of your Asian women don't age, you guys. I think there's beautiful Asian women.
Neither do blacks and Spanish. They age well, too.
American Indians get ugly when they get about 50.
Spanish women blow up like balloons, though.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm going to get shit for that one. But they
Paul and Jimmy, over in Australia, they've got them native people. What are them native
Aborigines?
You guys, I'm not making fun of them, but those people are, I'm telling you, they're homely looking.
Yeah, they're not an attractive group
they're of people. Dark with straight hair, like Indians.
Oh, my God.
India. They are, and I know I'm going to get shit for this, too. they're primitive looking.
Yeah, they are.
Well,
Yes.
they are primitive.
They
Yeah,
look like cave people.
Yes,
They
yes.
eat them pharaoh cats. I seen a documentary on them where the women, they take these big old long sticks, like big long broom handles, and over there in Australia they got these pharaoh cats, house cats all over the place, and man, they eat them cats. They'll chase them in the bushes, and they'll eat them bushes, kill them cats, and they'll eat them suckers.
If they're overrun. Well, what are you gonna do if you're overrun with them? Well, you gotta eat them.
They're made out of meat, boys.
Yeah, they're not asking me
They
to eat
got
them.
nothing on them.
Do you think Australians eat kangaroos, you guys? Honestly.
yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
I
Yes,
would
they
eat
do.
them. Yeah.
You can get kangaroo meat at Trader Joe's.
Have you ever had kangaroo, you guys?
No, I would
I've
never
never
eat
tried
one.
it.
I don't think I want one. I don't think I'd eat that.
You
anymore.
I'll
probably
never
do.
eat a marsupial.
We got a
I'll never
place
eat
up-
a rodent, and I will never eat a reptile.
Me
Well, you'll
neither.
never eat a squirrel, then will
Well,
No.
I had frog
God,
legs.
no.
You've never had frog legs, or Paul?
No, I see them at the all-you-can-eat buffets all the time.
Oh,
And
they're
I just-
good.
And by the way, they're not reptiles; they're amphibians.
Yes.
Amphibians. Thank you, Paul. Thank
They're
you.
good. I don't care what you call them. You ought to try them, Paul.
No,
legs?
They're good.
Does
No,
it
my-
taste
my-
like chicken?
My younger brother does.
Yeah,
He eats them.
like chicken.
He's like, "You gotta try them." I'm like, "No, I don't.
They
I'll
taste
eat.
a little
I'll
like
eat snails. I'll eat octopus, squid, anything like that."
Rubber,
I love
rubber
seafood.
food.
I don't
Rubber
eat
food.
anything that comes out of the water. Nothing.
Really?
Timmy,
Yeah.
you're the one that said that the other day. You said something it's like rubbery, lobster. I think you said lobster
Yeah,
is
it-
rubbery.
Well, it can be if
Lobster
it's
is
cooked wrong.
rubbery.
With octopuses like that, too, like eating a bicycle inner tube.
And when
Hey,
you can
Not
chew
if it's
into
cooked
it,
properly.
it tastes like salty chicken.
Does it? Yeah, I've never had it that good.
The claws.
Have you guys heard of some of those Asian people that eat octopus and actually got strangled
Oh.
to death, or those things will get stuck in their throat? I mean,
Oh, really?
Well,
Yeah,
like
they eat
the
these-
suction cups.
yeah, and these things are still alive when they're eating them.
Oh
And
no! Well, I don't eat anything that's still
Oh.
alive.
Well, they
do
suck
they
these
call
things
that?
down, and there's a
Fish.
lot of guys
Can't
that
say that.
You
Some
lie.
got, yeah.
I eat them while they're alive, but when the police find them, they are no longer.
Well, what in the heck is going on right now with North Korea and South Korea, you guys? They said they're going to be marching together under one flag at the Winter Olympics.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
rubbing
Yeah, I know
What?
it. They also combine their athletes, and the only thing that North Korea is bringing in is 2 skaters
Yeah.
and a
You guys
cheering team.
you don't
know
think
what?
the South is
You
going to...
can tell they're North Koreans are the ones you count their ribs.
You guys
yeah.
you guys
and they're
don't think
4
the
inches,
South-
and they're 4 inches shorter than the South Koreans.
And kind of humped over.
I just hope the South don't go communist, you guys. I just don't want South Korea to go communist.
No, it never will. No, it never will.
No, they want to join the people, and North Korea's got no reason not to join the South,
Yeah.
only except a dictator.
Yep, that's
The only
the
thing
only
stopping
reason.
them.
Un's the only thing stopping North Korea from being a paradise like South Korea.
Right.
And in South Korea, I know a lot of people in the military that have served, over in South Korea,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they say it is awesome.
So North Korea kind of when they went under the dictatorship, they kind of destroyed all that, that one big beautiful country there.
Right.
Oh man, them people! I feel so sorry for them people. Them
That was
people are
communist
good
China that
people.
started the
They,
Korean War.
You're right, Jimmy.
They want what everybody wants, but that little fat punk and his family has destroyed it.
Yeah. You look at any communist nation, any communist or socialist nation, at night from a satellite, and it'll tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
You'll
dark?
see
Is it
everything
dark?
lit up around them, and then the communist nation is pitch black.
The only light you'll see is Kim Jong Un's porch
Hmm?
light.
I
That's
never
it.
thought of
Light
that.
you see.
I never thought of that.
Well
I might.
said.
I'm gonna Google that tonight. You guys know how you can go on live Google Maps. I'm gonna
Yep.
check that out tonight,
Yeah.
man. Thanks, Paul.
Do it. And look at the Korean Peninsula.
Dark.
It is. You can actually see the border.
Well, you
So,
remember that guy they shot, that soldier that defected, and they shot him up?
Yeah, 5 times, yeah.
Well, you know, he lived through that.
Right,
he
he
did.
did.
Patched him all. He had all kind of parasites.
He was
in his
little.
stomach.
Anthrax.
Yeah.
He had traces of that, so he must have been working.
They said he was immune to it.
Anthrax?
Really? Wow.
They said he was immune to the anthrax virus,
But he had
or
all
the
kinds of
contagion, or
parasites
whatever you
in
want to call it.
Right.
living in his stomach and his intestines. He had
And
all
you have
kinds
to
of
remember,
parasites.
the military are the best treated people in North
Oh,
Korea.
yeah.
How's it
So
must
just
been?
imagine what the average person is living
Oh,
like.
my God. It's sickening to think about it.
Oh my God!
No, wait a
Like I
minute.
said, we should go in and just annihilate him just to free the people.
Yeah.
Free the
yeah.
people. But so when you look at a map at nighttime, like radar or whatever they show the satellite image, is the United States like really lit up? I've never really looked at a
Oh,
nighttime.
I
you
don't
gotta
know.
do it.
Yeah, you'll see the major cities lit up.
Oh my God! New
you
York
got me
City looks
interested.
like a volcano.
You've got me really interested in that, Paul. But so you guys were talking about diseases. Did you guys hear about that guy who I guess he got off a flight there in Chicago O'Hare Airport, and this guy had measles, and they said he probably infected hundreds of people. He was from somewhere over in Europe, but man, they got to do something about checking these people coming into our country with these diseases. You guys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They don't.
The international flights are supposed to go through some kind of.
When my grandmother came over here, they suspected that she had the mumps or something. This is back in like 1910 or whatever.
Right.
They suspected she had the mumps or the measles or something like that. They kept her on Ellis Island
Right.
for like
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They wouldn't let her go until they were sure she wasn't a carrier.
Well, they don't do it anymore, Paul. They sure
Yeah.
don't. And
Well,
they
they
said
didn't
it.
want the next Typhoid Mary walking into New York City.
Exactly.
Well, you guys know they said it takes up to 14 days for anybody to notice any symptoms from the measles. I mean, just imagine how many people this guy affected there, man.
Right.
There's payback for us giving the Indians the yellow fever, I guess.
Yeah, and the blankets with the smallpox.
Syphilis? Didn't we bring syphilis up?
Sheep herders did that.
Oh, that's nasty, Les. That's nasty.
I don't. Yeah, all
What
from,
I hear, boys.
all from Scotland.
Can I ask you guys something dirty? I mean, it's not really dirty.
That's the
I want
way
to
I
ask.
hear it.
It's Jimmy and
please
Paul's.
do.
It's Jimmy and Paul's show.
Oh,
but
no,
I
please, we
want to
like
know if
dirty
this is
stuff.
true. Now, you guys, I used to hear about this when I was a kid. Is there people in this country or around the world that actually has sex with animals? It's called bestiality.
Yeah,
you guys
of
ever heard of
course
that?
Of course
Seriously.
there are.
There's a lot of sick people in this country.
Do you know what? And there are states in this country
Legal.
where it's legal, dude.
What? That's nasty.
California's one of them, I think.
Yeah, probably. Well, if it isn't, it will be next week.
Well, what kind of animals are they sleeping with, you guys?
Yeah, well,
Oh, you can have to ask them.
I don't. You don't.
Depends on how big they are.
Oh God, that's funny. You
You could
guys.
have sheep, you could have cows.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way.
Chickens. I heard chickens.
You know, if you go to the store and you go to buy a turkey and it says pre-stuffed,
Oh
probably
God.
from West Virginia.
You're scared. You're scaring me now, Paul. I don't even want to eat turkey no more. I'll never eat turkey again.
Almost Farms from
I like turkey.
As long as it's just
Butterball.
like Jim.
Butterball.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going off the rail, boys.
Well, I didn't know. I've always heard about bestiality. I'm thinking, who in the heck would go out in the barn and sleep with an animal? Come on.
You know when the turkeys, you know when you're done fucking the turkey, the fucking
God,
thing
Paul.
pops.
Oh, God,
The little,
Paul.
yeah,
All
the
ain't
thing
done
pops
yet.
up.
All ain't done yet.
That little temperature thing pops up. Yeah.
When it
Paul,
pops,
you're
it's
killing
perfect.
me. You're killing me. You're killing me, man. Oh,
That's
God.
when you're supposed to quit.
Stop it. Stop
Call it
it,
a
Paul.
night, have a cigarette, and relax.
Stop it, Paul. Stop it, man. You're killing me. Oh, God. Oh,
And does your
Lord.
turkey smoke after sex? Yeah.
Oh, God, stop it. You guys, please.
Oh,
I'm
man.
crying here. I'm crying. You guys got me crying, man. Oh God! I could just picture Paul saying,
Oh my God!
"Oh, turkey, come here, gobble, gobble, gobble." Oh God!
My wife's like, "Is the turkey done?" I'm like, "In a minute."
Paul, you
Shut up! I'm almost there.
Oh, you sicko, Paul. God.
You just ruined the moment.
Jimmy,
Start over.
how do you hang out with Paul every day? Does he kill you like this, man?
Oh, yeah.
Paul.
Lord, forgive me. You guys corrupted me.
Oh, Lord. Jimmy, I don't know how you put up with him. He's crazy. I mean, not crazy, but he's funnier than crap, man. Paul,
I'm
you're
going to have
crazy.
to go sacrifice a turkey.
Yes.
In the name of Paul Daniels.
That is a preacher, by the way. Just want everyone to know. The preacher is talking about sacrificing a turkey.
Well, they already start a new turkey farm and call it Paul Turkeys by Paul Daniels.
There you go. Oh, man.
They got that creamy, buttery flavor
Yeah.
to them.
They're all coming out with deep voices.
The turkeys for dummies.
Basted. Oh, my God. Basted turkeys, man.
Oh,
God.
Lord. Boy, I hope my pastor don't listen to this.
Yeah. First you get it stoned to lull it into a false sense of security.
I'm sorry. I can't help laughing, Paul. Jimmy, I hope I'm not running your show, but Paul's killing me, man.
This is great.
Yeah,
But
good.
you guys on a good note in our country, Apple. You guys know the company Apple. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
talking about turkeys now. I'm talking about Apple.
No,
okay?
I know what you're talking about.
They said they're going
$350 billion they want to invest.
Yeah, they're going to be hiring tens of thousands of employees in the United States. You guys,
22,000.
They're going to repatriate.
you guys think it's
What was it? 35
billion.
Yeah, that they're gonna pay taxes on right off the bat before they do anything.
Yeah.
Well, do you think
As a
it's
show of
because
good
of
faith.
these regulations that our president has stopped on a lot of these
That's
companies?
what they said.
That's why we're going to win in 2020 and 2018.
Keep doing
it
that
is.
way, Jimmy. Keep that thought, brother. I love your enthusiasm, man. I love it, Jimmy.
Well, look at all these people's 401ks growing. They're getting more money in their paycheck. They're getting pay raises, finally.
Well, that's
You know
what
what I
I
mean?
say. I think that's hard to combat, man. You know, even the liberals that's working, they can't deny that, you know?
No, because on my Facebook page, I got a lot of liberal friends, because I grew up in a liberal place, right?
Yeah,
and it was
right.
all about the tax cuts. Oh, it's going to do this. Oh, it's going to do that. Oh, it's going to do this, right? And the exact opposite is happening.
Right, people getting pay raises.
And all I hear is fucking the chirp of crickets now.
Yeah. Oh, they're not going up to it. Most of them won't.
Well, businesses are doing good right now, but I think after tonight's show, the turkey business is going to go down. Guys, I don't think nobody's going to buy turkeys anymore.
Yeah, I single-handedly destroyed the industry.
You single-handedly molested all the turkeys.
I can't stop. I'm sorry, you guys.
Well, I can't get to them all.
We'll have to clone you, Jimmy. We need Paul. We need little Pauls in the turkey house.
Oh, my
bunch-
no,
yeah.
get some Viagra.
Yeah.
They all got bad attitudes.
Go to chickens then, because they're smaller.
All right, I got another question
Game
for you guys.
hens.
For you experts, I've got a question for. Okay, I want to know what is up with all this stuff. This talk about our country shutting down by the end of the week. What is going on with this, you guys?
You know what? I think less government is good. Shut it down.
Yeah,
the only thing I
close it up.
don't like about it is that the military's not going to get paid.
That's it.
Wait a minute. They're not going to pay our soldiers?
No. If the
Right.
government shuts down, Social Security and the military don't get paid. But welfare still does.
Yeah.
Well, you
I
don't want
got
to
a
piss off the
brother-in-law that's
Democratic
so-
voters.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a brother-in-law who works for a defense contractor up here at Wright Pat, and he'll probably be laid off if it closed down.
Well, they're trying to blame it on Trump. Do you guys blame Trump for the government
Not at
shutting
all.
down?
Absolutely not. No.
They will not come to the table in
The
good faith.
people are smarter. They're hearing them say you can blame it on the president and the Republicans. They run every part of the government. But it ain't. It's them. The
Right.
party of do
The
nothing.
Democrats.
Obstruction.
gridlock, ain't it, Jimmy? That gridlock.
Yeah, they said, like I said, nobody will go against Pelosi and Schumer. I don't see why. They're idiots.
Right.
Well, when you spend your whole time saying we're going to resist the president, we're going to resist the president,
Right.
we're going to fight him on everything, and then the government gets shut down, and they go, well, it's them guys' fault. It's like, you're the guys saying resist, resist, resist.
I hope they take flack. You know what? When it does shut down,
They
I
will.
hope the
If they
Democrats
do shut
take
it
flack.
down, I'll guarantee it's the Democrat. The media will say otherwise, but the people are going to believe otherwise.
Well,
I hope
believe me,
you're right,
everyone in the
Jimmy.
military is going to be saying when they're not getting a fucking paycheck, they're going to be like,
Especially if they're Democrat.
yeah, they're going to be like, this isn't Trump's fault, not this one.
Well, that almost happened to me back in the 70s with Jimmy Carter. The deal went through, but the scuttlebutt was we wasn't getting paid because of it. But they finally come to an agreement, but we wasn't going to get paid.
Well, Jimmy Carter.
That's a way back.
Oh, boy.
That's back in Jimmy's time.
Yeah.
And Les's. You got to admit, Paul. I don't know. I think you're more my age, ain't you, Paul? Or are you closer to Jimmy and Les's age?
I'm 52.
Well, you're in. Well, you're just a little older than me. So, but Jimmy and Paul probably remember Jimmy Carter really good. I was just kind of a kid when Jimmy was president.
He was the first president I voted for.
Really?
You heard that? He voted for Jimmy Carter.
You
I was
remember?
18.
What about Billy Carter? They had that Billy beer. You
Billy
remember Billy
beer,
beer?
Jimmy killed him with the Billy Bear.
He had more sense than fucking Jimmy, that's for sure.
Oh, my God. You know what? Jimmy Carter was not a bad person. He
wimp.
just
He sucked
did
as the
not
president.
belong where he was.
Do you believe that he did better after his presidency with this humanitarian?
Yes,
what it was
with
the
HUD and
Habitat for
everything.
Humanity,
Yeah.
humanity that
That's
built these
about all it
houses?
was good for.
Well,
And you know what? When he builds them houses and shit, he doesn't have any Secret Service around him. He tells them, you back off.
really? I didn't know that.
Who the hell wants to kill Jimmy Carter?
Well, you're right. Who wants to kill poor old Jimmy Carter, man?
Yeah, I mean,
He was useless.
first of all, I seen an interview with George W.H. Bush
Yeah.
when he was because he was the head of the CIA. This is a true story. And
George Elder.
the older Bush. And Jimmy Carter was becoming president, so Bush was giving him his interview. His intake, telling him what's going on. And he's like, the first question Jimmy Carter asked him was, what about them aliens? And he goes,
What?
Yeah. He asked about aliens.
Let's kill the rabbits, too.
And George Bush goes, this guy's getting the short version.
The short version. Oh my
Yeah,
God!
he's like, he doesn't need to know. This guy's an idiot.
I don't even know how he got elected. You guys. I mean, how did he get elected?
Because
Back
of
what
me.
was it, early '80s. Oh, Jimmy.
Yeah,
We got to blame Jimmy.
76 he ran. I was 20.
Yeah.
Now,
got
he went
elected.
through that whole 3 Mile Island thing when we had some kind of meltdown on 3 Mile
In
Island, right?
Pennsylvania, yep.
So you guys remember that?
I remember 3
a kid.
Mile
I was a
Island.
kid, you guys. I mean, I was, but you guys.
Love Canal, remember Love Canal?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right up in New York.
It's still unlivable.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Oh,
You guys
man.
still talking about the 3 Mile Island?
No, Love Canal.
I don't know anything about that. And when
That's
did
in
this
New
happen?
York. It was a chemical dump, a chemical waste dump, and
Yeah.
then they built homes on top of it.
Really?
And shit was just leaching out of the ground. You could
Yeah.
literally stick a stick in the ground, and like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, but the water was what's contaminated.
Right, but it was it was so contaminated.
Cancer
That-
and things.
Mhm.
So was people getting sick living there?
No, they were
Yeah,
getting
so
dead.
They were dying.
They were
The
dying.
cancer rate
Yeah.
was outrageous.
Oh, it was ungodly.
Oh my God, man! I didn't hear about that. So, jeez.
Look it up, brother.
I tell you,
Look
that's
it up.
why
That's
I
something you might
believe
want to
it.
look up, Rob.
That's why I believe in the EPA.
And I do believe in the EPA for that reason.
Right, but like I said, the Democrats, they swing the pendulum so far the other way that they make it impossible for anybody to start a business.
They turn a good idea into a monster.
Yeah, they
Always.
I agree with
They
you
take
guys. I
something
do.
good and they pervert it.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I really do. But did you guys hear that the Pentagon right now is monitoring a Russian spy ship near the U.S. right now? But they said it's an annual thing the Russians do.
They always do it.
Everybody spy. We're doing the same. They just won't tell you that. That's classified.
We had a German U-boat up in New Jersey, I think, during World War II.
My buddy
submarine.
I had a buddy that was in the Coast Guard out of Gloucester up here in Massachusetts. And the Russian ships, they would come in disguised as fishing ships. Yeah. But they got like 900 antennas on them. You know what they are. This is back in, late Vietnam era.
Mm-hmm.
And they would go out in a cutter and try to shoo them away. And the Russians would literally laugh at them. Until they would call in, then they would call in a Navy ship that would come around the corner, and then the Russian ship would disappear into the distance.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, Paul, you and Jimmy, since it's your show, I want to ask you guys a question.
You don't have to keep saying it's our show.
Well, it is your show, but I mean, I'm just used to just blurting the topics out. It is your show, Pop Talk, with Jim and Paul. But anyway, you guys know we got 5 branches of military, right? Why do we have a Navy and a Coast Guard? Why don't they just combine those two and just make it the Navy?
No. Because the Navy is for foreign engagement.
Yeah.
The Coast Guard is for coastal...
Domestic.
But couldn't they just make it all Navy and just have part of the Navy?
I like it separated.
Do you like it separate?
I do.
Wondered. I always
because
wondered
I don't like Navy ships boarding. I don't like the Navy boarding American fishing boats and coming on there and asking questions and stuff.
Right.
The Coast Guard is closer to a civilian organization.
But it's still a branch of the military, though.
It is, but it isn't. It's almost like a police force.
Okay, I get where you're coming from, but I just wondered why they didn't combine the two. I always wondered why separate them. I mean, they're both in the ocean, you know?
Well, that's like the Marines and the Navy. Now, my dad was a Marine, but he was attached to the Navy.
That's right. Yep, yeah. The Marines are the fighting wing of the Navy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Navy takes the Marines over to the other the countries and drops them off, right?
They still do amphibious stuff. They do air assault. The Marines, they can do about anything.
Well, if you want to bring it to that point, NASA is a part of the Air Force.
Yeah, NASA's part of the Air Force.
What happened to NASA, you guys? What happened to all of our...
They'll be back.
Yeah, it's coming back.
You don't know.
I mean, we don't even have any space shuttles anymore, do we?
Well, Obama defunded them, man.
Yep.
No, we're still sending shit up.
But not on shuttles.
Well,
we're sending them up on rockets.
Too. We got a lot of private stuff going on, too.
Yeah, that's...
And we're using the Russians to get back and forth to the space station.
I know. Obama put an end to NASA.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. Are we still dealing with that big space station they built up there?
Yeah, the International Space Station.
Yeah, we're still part of that. That's why I think we're still sending up rockets.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting there by rockets.
We send rockets to resupply them. When we want to send people back and forth, we go to Russia. And we go on a Soyuz.
Russia. I thought Russians was taking everybody up there. That's what I thought. The Russians was taking everybody up to the shuttle.
We send supplies up.
Okay.
Because you don't need, because on a resupply ship, you don't need,
With Obama, we had a bummer ride with the Russians.
And we still do.
I think we're doing...
No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't send up our own people. We send them to Russia. We only send resupply ships.
That's what I thought, Paul. I thought that we
because they don't have they don't have life support. Our rockets do not have life support.
What do you mean life support?
To send up people. We can send up supplies because you don't have to breathe. An ego doesn't have to breathe.
That's the shows I've seen where people or astronauts actually had to go to Russia to get to the space station.
And we still do.
That's why I was wondering, why don't we have any more? Do you guys think they're going to build some more space shuttles?
Yeah, they will. Yes. Trump will bring it back. I know he will. Yes. It's just not priority.
It's in the works.
Yeah, it's not priority.
The thing is, right, it's like we want to build a system that's not good for now. We want a system that's good for now and 40 years down the road.
Yeah, but on his agenda, you got to go by his priorities, and that's not that far up there.
Right. Once the economy's really clicking,
The
and
tax
money's
reform
flowing,
was the biggest
then
thing
the
he
money will
could
flow
have
to
done,
NASA.
especially before 2018 for the midterms.
So are we going to get a new fleet of those Air Force Ones coming too in the near future, you think?
What were they? The F something? 22s, 25s?
No, he's talking Air Force One, the new Air Force One.
You know, they got
Trump.
like 3 of them. You know, there's like 3 identical ones. They're
Right, 'cause
very
there's Air
expensive.
Force One, there's Air Force Two, and then there's the reserve plane.
See, I never
heard
knew
the
that.
decoy.
Yeah,
Well,
they're-
and the decoy. Good point. Thanks.
I mean, are we getting ready to build a new fleet of those Air Force One planes, though?
They're already in production.
They're in
Yeah, he
production
made
now.
him cut off, I don't know how many hundreds of $1 million off them because they
So-
didn't need what they said they needed.
He got a better deal than you mean, Jimmy.
Yeah,
he broke in a better deal.
He broke in a better deal. That's when he first got in, as a matter of fact. That's one of the first things he did.
Yeah,
You
it was,
guys-
oh my God, who am I? It's not Lockheed.
Boeing.
It's Boeing. Thank you.
Boeing.
I always
You guys
said
think
Lockheed.
is there weapons on Air Force Ones? I mean, do you guys think they got
I think there's not
capabilities?
weapons. There's countermeasures.
Countermeasures. Well, I think the F-18s and stuff follow those things around anyway.
Oh,
don't they?
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
Fighter planes.
Yeah,
I mean-
I would imagine no less than 25 of them.
I've seen the helicopter Marine One
Yeah.
that Trump gets on when he
Right.
lands.
Yeah.
I've seen it land before because I've been to DC a shitload of times.
I mean,
And,
once.
when it comes in, there's another one. It's not just one.
Oh
There's two.
yeah. There's always
Because
like
one's a decoy.
Yeah,
Right.
one follows it.
just like Air
Yeah.
Force One. There's always decoys flying when the original one's flying. They do that, I guess, to protect the president. I don't
Right,
know,
it
but
makes sense.
Well,
Just think of
it doubles your odds of him not dying.
man, you know what? If
That's
I've
so.
never flown. I've never been on a jet, you guys, but I think I would
What?
get on Air Force. I've never flown, Jimmy or Paul. I've never
Oh.
flown.
Really?
But I would get on Air Force One because I think that's one of the safest jets I think
It's got
built.
4 engines. You bet your ass it's safe.
So you guys have all flown. I assume all 3 of you guys
Oh yeah,
have flown.
yeah. I've flown prop driven. I've flown jet driven, and I've flown in a helicopter.
Les, have you
I've
flown?
never been in a helicopter.
Man, is it scary on your first ride? I've never done it.
Oh, I left you for a minute. Is it scary? Is what scary?
Flying in a plane.
Flying in the plane. The most thing I found scary was the landing.
Landing
Taking
and
off
taking
was
off.
like a bus ride.
I don't like
I
flying
didn't
at
like
all.
taking off.
I hate flying. But
I
I'll
feel
do
like
it
I'm
if I
left
got.
behind. You guys has done so much, all 3 of you guys. I feel like some rookie or something
Well,
on here
I
tonight,
took a
man.
helicopter ride. Me and the wife did over Niagara Falls. when
I
we
did the
was up
same
there.
one, dude. I swear to
you
God, I
really?
was just about to say it. I
I
swear to
loved
God,
it.
I did the same ride.
Oh,
It was
did you?
awesome.
I loved it, man. 3,000 foot above the falls. It was wonderful. I was kind of scared, though. The whole time I was a little nervous, but I was me and the wife was in the back seat, and a woman and a little girl in the front. I wish that we was in the front, because the big bubble you could see. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was
big bubble.
good, brother. I was good. But it's beautiful. I recommend it to anybody.
I did the same ride, brother. It was like the
Awesome.
big bubble, the big glass bubble helicopter
Yeah,
from MASH,
yeah,
right? Yep.
yeah.
You guys got
Yeah.
something in common then right there. That's something
Yeah.
I've never done. People do that over the Grand Canyon too. My brother took a helicopter over the
Yeah.
Grand Canyon. He said it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
I took a jet over there, Grand Canyon, commercial flight.
Was you able to see it that high?
Oh
up?
yeah, it was. That was my first. I looked down below the whole way across. I flew by myself.
So that
I had
canyon's
my
that
own
big.
personal ashtray in my armrest.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Remember
That
when you
won't
could
happen
smoke
today.
on a flight?
Yeah,
It
like I
was
said,
great.
this was in '79. I flew out. The
Yeah.
company flew me out to work there. They set up me in a hotel for 2 months until I could get on my
great.
feet.
That's the year I got out of
This
service.
is in Santa Barbara where all the mud floods are happening, the mudslides. Yeah, it was
forgot to
right
say,
in there.
Man, we forgot to talk about the mudslides. There's been a lot of people lose their lives
Jimmy.
over that, you guys.
Gentlemen, you do realize it's
902.
902.
I didn't set the alarm.
Well, you guys, I want to say goodbye to everybody and tune in to my show.
Give me 1 second. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I had a fucking blast.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Don't buy any turkeys.
Yes, this one I am sending.
I did. I had fun.
I'm going to go sit next.
All right, folks, we got to go. Good night, everybody.
Peace.
Followed by happy face, rainbow hearts, and the hashtag We Got This. Her message on YouTube was a bit more ominous, talking about current political leaders.
We don't need them anymore. We can do better. You're damn right we got this.
Today, Manning is a transgender woman, writer, and now Democratic candidate. But in 2010, she was Army intelligence analyst Private Bradley Manning, who was caught giving WikiLeaks documents about the U.S. wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and prisoners in Guantanamo Bay. It was a shocker, the largest leak of classified documents in U.S. history. In 2013, Manning was convicted and sentenced to 35 years in prison. Then late last year, President Obama commuted Manning's sentence to the 7 years already served, and she was released from a military prison. She's challenging Democrat Ben Cardin, a two-term senator who is up for re-election in November. The two would meet in the Maryland Democratic primary this June. Cardin is thought of as an easy favorite for re-election, but someone with Manning's name recognition could bring heavy media coverage and outside money from the far left to the race. Manning is viewed as a patriotic whistleblower by some and a traitor by others for her leaks. And she hasn't shied away from controversy since her release from prison. Last week, Manning posted on Twitter, "Expletive the police on Law Enforcement Appreciation Day." Despite President Obama commuting her sentence, Manning is still a convicted felon, but that doesn't appear to bar her from running for Congress. Mike?
That's pretty stunning. I think there's a joke there about Congress, but I'll let it go. But running against an incumbent Democrat in Maryland, one would think he would have an easy time of it, but we'll see.
Yeah, lots of money coming in.
Caroline, thanks a lot.
I was young, I was foolish, I was angry, I was fun, I was charming, I was lucky. Tell me